We'll jump in. This is the platform we're going to be using to do the connection on, and I've set up a new workspace in here, which is empty, as you can see, and we're going to basically set it up for the first time. If you have any questions, you can just jump in at any time and ask me. I do ask that you keep yourselves muted. And if you have a question, put your hand up. Or if it's a bleeding question, then of course you can just jump in and get my attention. I'll try to read. I got two monitors here, so I'm looking at you guys here, and then over here is my other screen. So that's why you're going to see me looking this direction a lot. But I got you guys all, up on the screen here so I can see you guys. Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So when you set this up for the first time, it's going to ask you to connect the MCP connector here, and this is what you would do in your Claude. So I'll just show you how to do that. You go into settings here, and this is what you do for setting up any connector in Claude. So all of you guys should have, you see here, I have a healthy amount of connectors here. You should all have a healthy amount of connectors because Claude is just once Claude brings in all that data and you get Claude reading like your Slack, your meetings through Fireflies, your Mercury data, for example, if you got that going, your Notion, it could like update your files, your Notion. If you can even use that as a CRM if you want. You can connect it to your CRMs too. And you can connect it to your cold outbound tools like Instantly, for example, or you can do your Beehive newsletters. Beehive doesn't let you actually make newsletters from it, but you can get information from it. The point being is like once you bring everything into Claude, you get Claude to analyze all this data. Claude just becomes the freaking best. Without the data, without the context, AI is not that good. When AI has all the data and has all the context, it's incredible. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to disconnect from Zevari and then I'm going to remove it. I'm going to show you how easy it is to connect to it. Now, the thing about MCPs is that, you can go to the browse connector and you can see all of the MCPs that are here in the directory. This is like the Claude approved directory. Now, we have submitted our MCP to this store and it probably won't be on there for who knows, because they have a backlog of like too many. Too many is in the backlog. So because of that, a lot of MCP connectors are just going to custom, meaning that like Instantly, Beehive, what have you, if you want to get their connector, they'll just give you instructions on how to connect. And the instructions are going to be pretty straightforward. There's going to be a name, a server URL, that's it. And then you authorize and that's it. So the way that you connect is we go to the bottom, add custom connector. We just copy and paste these things in, click on add. The server, okay, I didn't fully remove it. Okay, my bad. I got to remove it fully. There we go. So now we will add that stuff in, add, and then it's going to bring up so you got to connect. So you always have to connect or else the authorization won't happen. And so as we can see here, we're authorizing Claude to connect through Zevari to access your LinkedIn through Zevari connector. So we click authorize. There we go. There's the one click right there. Now it's going to redirect, open the Claude app and connect to Zevari. Thumbs up. Great. So now what do we do? Well, now we test to make sure it's working. So we go in our Cowork here. As you can see, I set up a new Cowork environment just from scratch. And we're going to do the onboarding form. Okay. And it's probably the first time you guys have ever seen onboarding through an actual AI. And the way that we've set it up here in Zevari is we have all these different skill agents here. Tons of stuff. We'll go over this in a minute, but the first one here, and this is like when you set up your account for the first time, it's going to prompt you to use this onboarding skill. So we take this skill, we copy and paste it in here. What it does is it's telling the AI what it's going to do, basically. Okay, so now we're going to check to make sure that we got our connectors here. There we go. We see Zevari is there. It's on. Good. It's going to go ahead and run this. And it's going to go through the whole setup process. And I'm setting that up for the new organization here. So it brings in all the context here, org ID, workspace ID, LinkedIn accounts, user ID, et cetera, et cetera. It's gonna pull, it's connecting with it. As you can see right now, it's pulling up all the stuff. So we click allow a bajillion times. Once you do all the initial allows, then you don't have to do it anymore. Thank God. It's just a one-time thing. So yeah, allow this task. Working on it. And I got Sonnet running here just because it's faster for this demo purpose. Usually I use Opus. Opus is the smarter of the models. Like there's three models. What is Zevari? Zevari is the connector to LinkedIn, Claude to LinkedIn. There we go. As you can see, it says right here, Zevari gives you LinkedIn superpowers through skills. Zevari structured AI workflows chain together, blah, blah, blah. I can chain together many different workflows, but point being is this is our onboarding here. And as you can see, we have our basics here. So our LinkedIn is connected. Great. It even pulls up our tier. As you can see, I'm on the Sales Navigator tier, so I was able to know that. Active, zero usage, fresh start. Profile basics here, so it pulled in that. That's the stuff you give when you set up. Now it wants us, it's asking for our voice DNA, our ICP, our default call to action, brand library, templates, all that stuff. So now we literally just follow the steps. Hey, John, I'm your Safari engine, blah, blah, blah. We're going to do all this stuff. Anytime to see full catalog today, we'll get your profile voice. Let's go. It'll take about 10 minutes. So we're going to do this. Paste in 3 to 5 posts. In this project, there is a file. Can you read it? And it should answer most or all of your questions. Now, this file is, as you see, there's a working folder. Running script, so it's going to look for the file. I did this here, as you can see. So I asked the AI over here to do research on this would be your business. You'd say, like, do research on my business, and I want you to basically profile my business and set up everything about the business, right? And so that's what it did here. It basically set up like a brand intelligence document here, as you can see, everything about your business. Here. So we got the brand intelligence. What is the business, the ecosystem, plans, etc., etc., etc. Writing samples here. The beauty of Claude is that it does all this stuff like super well, super fast, etc. So here's the doc. I'm going to copy this in case this guy doesn't find it. Yeah, it didn't. Okay, so we'll just paste it in here. So here's the whole doc here. Lead Panther, brand intelligence. I'll just get rid of this other stuff here because I only want it to be Lead Panther focus. And there we go. So here's everything about the business. It's going to read all of it. And it's basically going to finish the setup process here. That's what it's going to do. And we're going to watch it do that. And then after it finishes the setup process, then we're going to basically make a campaign. And we're going to get it to create a list. So there's many different things that we can get it to do while it connects to our LinkedIn. Like, for example, there's many different ways that you can make a list on LinkedIn. Look at this. I've already hit 100% of my usage. Can you believe that, guys? I'm going on the extra usage right now. But if we go here to this here, let's say we're on our LinkedIn here, right? We've got our LinkedIn here, beautiful. And let's say, so there's different ways on how we can make a list, right? You can make a list by a big way of making a list on LinkedIn. If you were to do this manually, you would search. What would you search? Well, you would search for people. You would search for, signals. You would search for companies, right? You would do all those things, right? Like if you wanted to build a list of companies, for example, you would build a list of companies. Let's say if you're trying to build a list of people that's at a company, for example, here, my most recent search was I searched Harvey, which is a software development company. And in Harvey, you could go to companies. And you could make a list by searching within anybody that is associated to this company. As you can see here, they have a lot of employees, right? So that's one way you can make a list. So, or it could be a pain related list, like for example, manual outreach. So we could search manual outreach here and spell it right. And we go to post and we can see who's posting about manual outreach here. And then what we could do is we could scan all these people and import all these people and make a list from these people on which one of these people fit our ICP, right? That's another way we can make a list. So Zevari can do all of this by instructing Claude on how to access LinkedIn and how to build these lists. And that's what it's going to do. Okay, so here we go. It's basically created this profile here. Good. Now it's going to save it. Okay. I'm gonna let it save it. Bajillion times. It's saving a lot of stuff here. The origin story here, see like voice DNA, profile update, brand positioning. Good. So it's putting this all into Zevari. Reason being is so that we can access it from different AIs and we can access it from different computers if we want. So it's like our one-stop shop. Like everything, as you can see, is all now stored in there. And we can check this out. So as you can see, Claude literally just wrote into it here. Okay, good. So what it said it did, voice DNA, ICP set, brand library here. Okay. It's asking me one thing the file didn't specify. What do you want people to do when they reach out to you? Let's do a book a meeting. Sure. We can do for phase 4, answer, book a meeting, and we can do just get my calendar here, for example. We'll pop that in there. And then it says phase 5 warming. Right? So those warm-ups, that's fine. And it gives us a bunch of different skills, right? So this is all the stuff that we can do here. Based on your SaaS founder persona, we can do this stuff. Find and close agency owners. That actually looks pretty good. We'll get it to do that afterwards. Then we can do, okay. So while we're waiting to do that, we're gonna pull up this, and it said that it stored our voice DNA. So if we go here to our library, as we can see, we have it here. So we have our content voice here. If we go to our brands, it's already picked up see, it's trained on 18 samples. So Claude gave it 18 samples. It's all saved. It's all configured. See the time here matches 116. It's now 119. So see, it's all there. The positioning, here's all the positioning here. Great. It has the goal, start a conversation, stories. It has the stories here. Nice. Okay, perfect. It did a great job at building that. Awesome. It's all there. So now it's going to basically, now the next step here, as you can see, our activity overview is empty. We gotta bump up these numbers. So now it's going to do this. We're gonna watch it do this. We could also get it to do stuff afterwards. We'll get it to write us some content as well. You can get us to create lead magnet, write a post. You can post it as well. You can do all of it. Okay, here we go. Chain running now. Step 1 is search prospects. Tell me who to hunt and I'll build your list. You can describe them naturally. I'll translate it into LinkedIn search parameters. For example, find marketing agency owners or find people running lead gen agencies who, yeah, I think this one's better. So as you can see, Claude is basically running the show here. I'm just the AI like orchestrator, so to speak. And as you can see, it's pulling up the skills here. So because as you can see, when it pulls up the skills, like it doesn't really know how to do this unless Zevari tells it how to do this. So it knows to basically see here we got the search prompt going. Okay, good. Allow it. It's going to run. So without the skills, it doesn't know how to do this. So that's where Safari comes in here into play. So the way I like to phrase this from this AI or how the two work together is like the brain, Claude is the brain. It's the one that's smart, has the intelligence, and Safari is the hand. It basically gives it the tools and the instructions and it gives it the capabilities. Because without Safari, it wouldn't be able to connect directly to LinkedIn. You would have to use like one of those like Chrome scrapers, which are extremely slow, and your computer has to be on. Yeah, and they're so slow. Your computer has to be on. You can't do anything else on your computer when that's running. So it's horrible. So now it's going to do this. As you can see here, it searched across this, pulled up all the LinkedIn lookup search IDs. We're gonna figure it out how to search across the US, the technology. So it's searching across that as well. Awesome. While it's doing that, it's going to be doing that for a little bit. See, Ken here is having a great time. It's just, yeah, we're gonna let it do its thing there. While it's doing that, let me ask you guys some question here. Like, I mean, what brought you guys on the call? Like, what are you hoping to get out of this?
I
I
want
just wanted to
to.
see the system, for the first time. I haven't had a chance to sign up. So this has been a good fresh start.
Awesome.
Ditto that. I want to be able to automate my LinkedIn outreach kind of like you do, John. Like I've been following you for like a year. Pretty
A
impressed.
year.
However long. Um, pretty impressed with what you're doing and want to learn how to do that as well.
Gotcha.
Can Zevari, I was just on the website. It looks like it does your social channels as well.
Yes. Yes. So by that, we're talking about like the content as well, which we'll go over that. I'll show you how you
Okay,
can
cool.
use it for making posts and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, we're just gonna get it to build a quick list. So it builds lists for you. I let it do like a small list. Of course, you can tell it to do a really big list. Like I want you to keep going until so it's found like 4 qualified targets, right? Great. I could tell it like four is not enough, whatever, do more. But for demo purposes, I'm just gonna let it do the minimum here so we can move things along, right? So now what it's done is it's found 4 people here. Good. And now it says, yeah, yeah. Now it's suggesting that the next step in the chain is to research the people. Okay. So it's going to research them and then it's going to score them now. So as you can see, so it's researching each of these people here. And so here's what it found on each of these people. So now we can go ahead and we can verify what it found is actually correct. So I can show you here. Let's go ahead and find. Okay, so Houston Buckner, second founder, playmaker, closer. Houston Becker founder play. Yeah, see exactly. So see, it found that exact thing here. See, it's a direct match. Founder, playmaker, closer, AI. Yep. So that's how we know like this. It's actually reading LinkedIn. It's like it's not just hallucinating. This is real. This is actual data from LinkedIn. Perfect. Now it scores it against the ICP. So the problem with LinkedIn is that LinkedIn has very strict limits. Safari respects those limits, which is why the tool, basically exists. If it didn't respect those limits, then it'd be shut down very fast. Like a lot of tools that don't respect LinkedIn's limits. So you want to make sure that because with limits, I mean like with the amount of outreach that you're doing, you're really restricted on the number of outreach that you can do. So you want to make sure that when you're doing your outreach, you are targeting people that is your ICP, right? Because if you can only send out, like for example, if you have a Sales Navigator account, that's only 150 outreach or 150 connection requests you can do per week, right? And connection request is like how you contact somebody. Like that's like one of the first points of contact. Of course, you can do a warm-up sequence before that. Like you can, I don't know, like a post or comment on something. but if obviously you want to have a conversation with them, right? And the way that you do the outreach to them without doing email is incredibly expensive. It's going to cost like a lot, so you don't want to do that. So what people end up doing is connection request. So you want to make sure that every connection request that you're sending out is to a qualified person, a person that actually meets your ICP. Now, a beautiful thing about Zevari is that you could even just give it a list. Like if you have a connector here, and for example, you have Apollo. I don't have Apollo here, but if you added Apollo, Apollo is great for making a list. See, I could add Apollo here. So I could get a list from Apollo. The problem with Apollo is it's not all, and it'll give you the LinkedIn profiles, which is great, but it won't give you active people on LinkedIn. That's a big problem with Apollo. So what you would do is you would bring that list into Zevari and you would tell it, work this list and see which one of these people are like number one, to let me know which one of these people are active on LinkedIn. And you could always define the easiest way to define active is like if they've made a comment or a post over the last 30 days. That means that they're generally active. There's a lot of people, there's about 1 billion LinkedIn users. Not joking, 1 billion. And of the billion, it's basically, people like us that are active, that are regularly on LinkedIn, right? Which equates to about 10%. They say that it's about 10% is active on LinkedIn per month. That's what they say. That's the numbers everyone says. Here we go. And then after that, you would want to say, okay, now that we have the active people, let's score them. Let's do this ICP scoring because we want 5 out of 5s, or 3 out of 5 seems okay, but we got a perfect one here. Qualified craft outreach. Let's do the outreach for the 3 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 people. And so now it will do it.
Hey, John, quick question.
Yeah.
And sorry, I joined a little bit late. But how is this sort of tuned to like for token usage and things like that? So
Yeah,
that you're, like, yeah,
it uses your Claude, right? So it's
right.
using your token usage and it's using your Claude subscription.
And I guess what I meant was for efficiency, like in terms of like how you've set it up so that it's using like the least amount of tokens possible while it's doing these searches, because I imagine it probably has to do quite a bit.
Yeah, so that's actually a really good technical question there. So when it does these searches, it saves what it finds, it saves it into the database. So, and then it will always read the database first before it tries to use LinkedIn.
Okay, gotcha.
Basically, I mean, doing like little lookups like that's marginal. Like you know, these context windows here, like it will run up to 1 million tokens. Like this would take a long time. It would have to have a very long conversation here to use up 1 million tokens. That's a lot.
Right,
So just doing like
right.
little lookups here and there, it's just a few tokens, like maybe like a few hundred tokens. It's nothing really. What matters
Okay,
to you is the amount of times that the AI is operating your LinkedIn. We want to keep that to a minimal. That's what
yeah.
matters the most.
Okay, and so yeah, and your tool, your platform is basically respecting the limits of LinkedIn,
Yeah.
and at the same time, the user has to kind of know as well how to best interact with it too. Okay,
Correct. Correct. As there's a safety center here, and in the safety center, you can see all of the things that it's done here. So as you can see, it's already done 13 actions of the daily budget of 1,000 actions. And an action can be a profile view, it could be a search, it could be account lookup, it could be a comment, it could be a profile. I don't know, looking through a profile. All of those are actions. All of them are actions. And there's burst caps too, for example. Like if it does too much within a 5-minute window, it gets basically much everything runs through. Like Claude will try to go to LinkedIn and do something on LinkedIn. First, it has to go through Zevari and it goes through the safety center here. In the safety
Mm,
center, if it finds that it's doing too much too fast, it stops it. It will block it, basically, and it'll give it the reason for why it did that. for example. And so then you can review everything in here and make sure it's all working correctly.
That's great.
Okay, and it's even saying it's going to do a disk profile analysis on them. Cool. So then it knows what type of outreach to do to them. I don't know if you guys know what a disc assessment is. A disc assessment is like we look at their language type. And by language type, like for example, this, it's found that this Audra person here pain-led language. So therefore, if we did outreach to them and in our outreach, we focused the pain first, they're more likely to respond because we know it's, they have a pain. We know what their pain is. We know that that's going to resonate with them because of this pain assessment here versus Houston and David here, it's value led. So they want results first. So then we lead. So that's why the AI will lead with messaging. That's about that. Okay, here. And so it found some posts that it did here. Now, of course, you could always have the back and forth with it here. I'm just going to let it, do it fast. And it used like a default messaging template. You can always, tune it on whatever message template here. But as you can see here, this is the first. So it came up with a 3-message sequence for each of the 3, right? Using each of the pain led this one. So for this guy here, connection request, making a reference to the post. So your post hit home, curious if you have a system capturing leads or if it's part still manual, content creators, treat commenters. Okay, this is the follow-up. That gap closes. Does your current stack? And then it's at the last message is saying, I built automation comment, blah, blah, blah. It's going for the hard pitch on the last one, basically. Great. That's all fine with me. Want to approve all these? Approve all. And now it's going to generate that campaign and it's going to send them out. That's what it's going to do. Loading the skills here. Good. And it's creating the whole campaign here. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Running through all the stuff there. Thinking.
Hey John, can you just talk about and maybe you've talked about this in previous workshops, like how does Zevari connect to LinkedIn? Like what's that connection?
We use an API to connect to LinkedIn. Now, I'll be fully transparent with you. LinkedIn has closed APIs. Only the biggest bajillion-dollar companies out there get direct access to LinkedIn, which is like 4 or 5 of them. That's it. But there's a lot of tools out there that are connected to LinkedIn. For example, Lemlist, HeyReach, etc., that have like thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of customers. They're all connected to LinkedIn. So how are they connected to LinkedIn? They're using unofficial connectors to LinkedIn. We're doing the same thing. Okay, so built the 3 campaigns.
So is Zevari your product, John?
Yep,
Oh, okay.
it is. Oh no, compacting the conversation. No, if anyone has ever, dealt with this, then yeah, you know the pain. I think the context window for Sonnet 4.6 is probably 250,000 tokens. So there you go. We've hit 250,000 tokens, Evan. So I know with Opus, it's like defaulted to 1 million tokens now. We wouldn't have hit this if we had Opus, but Opus is a lot slower. So
Sorry, what does
yeah.
it mean that you hit this?
Oh, it means that so in a conversation can go and go and go and go and go, and it can use a lot of tokens until it hits the max token window of that conversation of this chat. So whenever it says compact in our conversation, that means it hit the token window, and each model has different context windows. So token limits within a given chat. So basically we hit it. So that tells me that we've hit 250,000 tokens. That's what that means. Which is fine. What it's basically doing is it's summarizing the entire conversation. And then it's going to basically, you're not going to see this, but what's happening on the back end is starting a new fresh conversation, and it's going to keep the everything going from everything that's been summarized and saved. And it's going to pass it over basically to another conversation in the back end, but we're not going to see it as a user that's looking at this. But I'm just explaining to you guys how this stuff works under the hood, because I'm kind of this is what I do every day, is AI. And I teach this stuff too.
Okay, John,
And I've
another.
got a,
Go ahead.
that's okay. Go ahead, Shannon. I don't
Okay,
mind.
thanks, Jeff. Let me turn my camera thanks for asking the previous question. So, my question now is like when I would want to hook up Zavari, like how do I personally connect it to my LinkedIn account?
Right. So when you set up Safari for the first time, it asks you to log into your LinkedIn account. It's just a one-time login,
Okay,
and that's it. Once you're
that's
logged
it.
in, you're logged in.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Can it run multiple accounts?
Yes, it can. So we're gonna go here and we're gonna go to, as you can see, we have it here. Here it is. So approval is required for the one. I think I can bulk approve this. If I go into here, go to draft here. Yeah, so here's the campaigns that I created here, as we can see. So we just review and activate. Can ask it, can you bulk approve them? Bulk approve them means it puts it together. We have to do this. We have to ask for approval. Like you have to approve the campaign for two reasons. Like reason number one is so that you can review everything here. It's not doing it. Okay, annoying. Okay, no worries. And so like you as the person that's signing off on this, you want to sign off and you want to see all the things that's going to do, right? The profile view, the connection request, here's the message here, right? So you can review all this stuff, the messages that it's going to send, and so on. So you want to basically see all of that. So I'm going to click on approve and then go, you can see them all here. The campaign, approve. We've approved all of them. Let's go to drafts here. Okay, we got one more. Just quickly approve it. Okay, approved all. So now it says first action is queued for 2:38 EDT. So it's going, EDT is New York time, so it's going to send that out. Okay, we're going to allow it to execute. And once it fires it out, as you can see now, if we go to targets here, we have our targets here. Remember how one of them was disqualified, so we can see that data here as well. Okay, so it's all in here. We see our research status here. Of course, we can always, open up the profile. So if we want, we clean, so if we want to actually see the profile, that's how we would do it. Just gonna paste it in here. There we go. See, this is the Houston guy here. Audrey's didn't approve. Okay, fine. We will do that. Approve. Say done. Okay, now it's going to do its stuff. And so good. So now if we go to the command center here, as you can see, we have our hot opportunities there here. Good. Got our hot leads here. Good. Good. We can see all the actions that it's done here. Good. Oh, it looks like it's blocking us. This is probably because, as you can see, we've done a lot of stuff here. This is all of the logs that it's done. So you viewed all those profiles, did all that searching. So it's just going to try again because of the safety mechanisms. That's why this is happening here. This is safety mechanisms. So, which is good. It's working. So it will just go again here. It will just keep going and going and going until it does it. So while we let this run in the back end, so now that it's in Zevari, Zevari will basically, we can view the campaigns here. We can see that the campaigns are active here. And yeah, and it's just going to go. So you can see what's going to happen next. See targets, upcoming action, profile view. So it's going to keep trying and trying until it succeeds in that step. So it's going to go for the profile view, the connection request after that, then the message, and then the final message there. Great. So while it's doing that, let's do some content. So let's write a post here. Why not? Why not write a post? All right, we'll view this. Great. And to do that, now what I recommend you do in this is whenever you want to do something different. So we did our campaign, right? So that's what we did in here. So we set it up and we did our campaign. Now I copied this. I copied that post here, the write post skill. And I put it into here. And now we're going to basically get it to help us write a post. So it's going to pull in those skills here, and then it's going to help us come up with topic angles, CTAs, and yeah, we're going to do that. So I'm going to show you guys how to use Zevari for posts.
John, do you ever go as far as working with the Cowork harness, do you ever use the chat to write the post? Or do you do all the work in Cowork?
You can use it in chat at the same time. Yeah, and to be clear, like you mean you're using like chat in like the web browser. Like I'm going to Claude.ai, right? And pulling up the chat. You can use it here for sure. See? Connectors. Here it is. So yeah, you could have multiple windows open. You could have multiple chats. With Cowork, you can only have one at a time.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Claude, you can have the Claude window in the web browser. Yeah, you can have multiple chats going. Absolutely.
Okay.
I would when it comes to doing different use cases, that's fine. Like if, for example, this chat here is running and it's making a post, sure. And then this one here is like doing something different, like outreach and whatever, fine. But if you got like three of them running, they're all doing outreach at the same time, well, then that's not the best because Zevari will know that your account's being operated too much and it will do the blocks a lot down here. So you'll see like the blocks happen because it will basically the AI will try to do it too much and then it will get blocked. So it's best to do it like on different use cases. So
Okay, I was just thinking of doing the content on one in the chat and then letting the execution happen in Cowork, whether
yeah,
yeah, okay, cool.
absolutely.
Hmm.
What template style do you want? Let's do thought leadership. Let's see your comments. Let's do visit lead template. Let's see what it comes up with. Now, of course, the thing with this is we can always like tell it that we like, I don't know, maybe we saw a post that we liked and we wanted to get that post. Maybe there's a post that's doing really well. Here's one here. It's like Upwork. So if this is how we would grab the post URL here. Okay. LinkedIn get user. It's pulling up my post here as we can see. Okay. Okay, look at that. So it pulled up everything about me. Yep. Predator confidence. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. So now it's structuring the post. After it structures the post, I'm going to give it this. I'm going to say, I like the style and format of this post. Can you come up like this post? I'd say something like using the I would like you to rewrite it using I don't know, using my brand, CTAs, etc. See what it's doing. I have everything I need. It's in drafting now. Okay, so it's making the post now. Okay. see now. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay, cool. It's coming up with the hook stuff here. Bold claim. That's actually not bad. This 20 links is all pretty good. Here's the whole optimized post. Your lead menu is kind of, it's not bad. Okay, both drafts are saved in Safari. Okay, so let's take a look. Here we go. So here it is. It's in Safari. Cool. We can add an image to it. And I could tell it to write a prompt that I can use to generate an image for these posts that has Claude logo in it. So Claude can't generate images, but it can write posts or write the prompts to generate the image. So this is a fun little hack. And then what you would use is you would use an image generator like Nano Banana, for example, or AI Studios where you use Nano Banana, or I would just use ChatGPT. Because ChatGPT just came with Image 2.0 and it's really good. So we would use that. Okay, here we go. Let's put it in. While it's doing that, it's almost okay. Okay, I'll just say, okay, now we'll get it going on this. User wants me to fetch the LinkedIn post here, so it's grabbing the LinkedIn post. Good. Mm, just copy the full text of the post. Okay, it's not looking it up right now, but yeah, true that. We'll just copy. Powered by Claude. That's an interesting image. I would not that's I would not post that. It's a little too crazy. I wouldn't do that. You'd actually just tell it to do something like this, to be honest. Uh, for the image, yeah, here's another hack, by the way. Um, the image prompts I didn't like. Can we do one like this image? So it's going to read the image and it will basically give us a prompt that will generate something like that image. Let's see what it comes up with. On this tip, this style works best as an actual image. All right, I'll put it in. Sometimes you got to prompt it a bit more. If I was using Opus, it would be a better one. I want you to, I'm just going to talk to it right now. I want the post or the image generate. I want the prompt to be super, super detailed so that it basically regenerates that image that I shared. But instead of Opus 4.6, I want Opus 4.7, and I don't want the UP logo to be there, but you can keep the rest of the stuff in the image. So make an extremely detailed prompt that would regenerate that image. Because it can do that. This is running here. There we go. Now we're talking. This is an ultra. This one's not bad too. That's actually pretty good. I may use that, but now that we have the super detailed prompt, I suspect it'll be better. But see, just from like a really basic prompt, like I gave it a really basic prompt, and it's a pretty good image. But as you can see, I had to give it some more prompting. I could use that. I was going to give it detail. Now, another tip I would give you guys is when you're saving the image, take a screenshot of it. So I'm just taking a screenshot of it right now. Or else, if you don't take this screenshot of it, so you see I got the screenshot here. When you upload that photo or post it, it will be kind of like, I don't know how to say this, but when all these photos are generated with AI, they're marked and signed as generated by AI. And so LinkedIn knows that they're generated by AI and they put like a little sticky badge being like, this was generated with AI. So, that's how you get around that, is you take screenshots of it. That's the easiest way of doing it.
John, I just have a kind of random question.
Yeah.
If you're trying to use, I don't know if this tool would be for that, but if you're trying to take profile data from LinkedIn or X and enrich profiles in your own community, is that something you can do here, or is that's really just this is more of the outreach, go to market kind of approach? Do you have any other things you're working on that could actually facilitate that?
We'll walk through your use case. So what type of enrichment are we looking for?
So if you're trying to basically, augment profiles you have already set up for your community, you have access to these public profiles, for example, for like medical doctors, and you wanted to augment that with, photos from the LinkedIn profile, if it's public or whatever, and other data points from their profile to kind of enrich that profile you already have. Is that something that could be achieved through the API you've
Well,
set up?
of course. I mean, yeah. But like
Okay.
what type of enrichment are you doing? Like look at their profile, look at their post, like that type of
Yes, exactly.
enrichment?
Kind of
Yeah.
like their
Yeah.
overall activity, like social activity outside of our platform, because we're trying to build this community and get them active on our platform, but also showing that they're active on LinkedIn and other platforms could be very valuable to them to show their social influence, key opinion leader influence, for example.
And Evan, where are you right now?
I'm in Boston area.
He is from Boston, and your business name?
I'm actually I kind of have side business. I'm running my profile is more focused on my full-time work, and I've got kind of a side startup thing I'm working on. So yeah, it's
Okay.
not really it's not really focused on like my business per se. So
Okay. Well, we're gonna do it on you right now.
I'm product advisor for a startup platform that I'm working on. It's kind of
Okay.
based in France.
Got
So yeah.
gotcha. Cool. Cool. Was it content here? You can see, okay, we got our draft one here. Did I save the other one? I think I did. Oh, well. Okay, well, it did the rewrite here. Looks good. I would have to tell it to put it into here, but waiting for that. We can look at the photo. Right, this is the photo that I came up with. It's pretty good, to be honest. Like, it's pretty damn close. You see how I just gave it the prompt? Didn't capture it completely, but it's pretty damn good. It's a Coke bottle too. I'm gonna choose which one to use. I would probably use this one. Yeah, that's what I would use. Open image tab. This we want to, let's make it bigger. Take a screenshot of it. Put it here. There we go. Found 4 Evan Rossies in Boston area. Let me pull the full details on the 2 most likely matches.
That's good to know. I didn't know there were 3 others.
Are you working at, okay, are you a founder? This is a founder, Evan.
Nope.
So not
That's
you.
interesting. So
And
far,
there's Evan G. Rossi,
that's
PMP.
that's it right there. Yep.
There we go. Okay. Profile 2. Look at gather. You can say like gather his activity, likes, comments, posts.
It's going to be pretty bad because I'm really not that active on LinkedIn. I'm
Oh, well,
looking for
there's,
people who are active.
of course, but it'll still grab it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it'll still
And
take a look.
this is behind the login as well. Like some of these companies you mentioned do like public profile, scraping, whatever, which is fine. But this goes behind the login, so you're getting kind of all the good stuff.
Yeah, this is live data
Yeah.
straight from LinkedIn. Yeah. Yeah, last time was March 19th. Evan
Yeah.
commented on one of your posts. Wow, nice.
Oh yeah. There we go. Kudos
There
there.
we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got me. You got me.
All right, well, let's post this post. We'll get it going there. Relationship maintenance. You can pulls up the relationship maintenance comments. This is where it gets interesting. His comment pattern splits into 2 clear buckets. Relationship maintenance and you like lead magnets. So it's profiled you pretty good. That's pretty good. What this
It's
tells
not
you.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm looking for new processes, new ways of working,
Yeah.
things like that. So, yep.
Well, you're in the right spot, man.
Yep.
Okay, good. So now it's gonna make the post here.
No,
Approve and
that's great. I mean,
publish.
that's super helpful because that's exactly the kind of information, we're looking for in terms of augmenting and, building a key opinion leadership profile and influence score for different for community users. So you can, by augmenting with LinkedIn, you can also have your community data, including LinkedIn data, to show that there's a lot more going on than just within your, platform. And that's the idea of
Exactly.
what I'm getting at. So that's pretty cool.
I'll post it immediately and update the status draft. Oh, okay, it's posting it right now. No, I don't want it to post it right now. Deny. Okay. Make it a draft in Zevari. That's what I was saying. Because I denied it, so that's wait. Wrong thing. Wait, this is the okay, it's probably going to be confused. I gave it contradictory statements here. There we go. Now give me the damn draft. There we go. Now I got the draft. Now I can add the image. Let's see this one here. Perfect. And we can publish it now. Let's go for it. So queue until it publishes, and then yeah. I haven't even made the lead. Let's see what it says here. Yeah. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, that's it. So we're at our time here. We're at the full hour mark. Just want to say thank you all for, for coming on, and thank you for your questions. If you have a few more questions, I'll stick around for a few more minutes. We'll go from
My
there.
one question is about training for so when you when someone gets onboarded with Zevari, like what kind of training is part of that or included so that if you want to have, yourself and other team members kind of get up to speed? Um,
Here it
just
is.
curious.
Look at that. Beautiful. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, to answer your question, great question. I do have we have a Slack channel. So in there you can drop your questions and I answer in there. And then there's also of course this is recorded so you can I will send this video to all of you guys so you can refer to it later. And I'm also going to give everybody here a coupon code for 20% off for your first month of Safari. So yeah. And of course, I
Okay.
want you guys all to succeed in this. There's a lot that you can do in it, and it can be overwhelming. Like, for example, like if you want to do targets here, like, well, here's one of your targets, pursuits here, like add to pipeline, stuff like that. Here's your actual pipeline. You can add stuff to your pipeline here, but you can see all the different agents in here. So if you want to build a list, this will help you build a list, compare audiences, research a person, score against ICP. It does a lot of this automatically, but research here, industry pulse research, track competitors, scan for signals, craft outreach. These are all like individual skills that you can grab from here. Scan inbox, which is pretty good. It'll basically go through your whole inbox and qualify it. There's also dedicated work skills, workflows here. And this is something that's growing over time. A lot of these workflows came from customers, like people who said like, hey, well, like this one here, re-engage quiet replies. Like I want to find people who have replied, went quiet, and who are not active on LinkedIn. Then I want to draft a confirmation follow-up to them. And so this workflow here, it explains, what the workflow does, when to use it, the skills here that's using under the hood, and then the prompt. And you would just take that prompt and you put into a new chat and it would do it, right? So basically I would start with workflows. These workflows are the best, like research to outreach, audience growth workflow. This would help you grow your audience here. For example, schedule LinkedIn posts workflow here. This will help you do a few different posts, for example, and so on and so forth.
John,
And I'm going
Thank
to
you.
be, and I also have office hours as well. I think I do them every Tuesday. So every Tuesday I have like in the afternoon, I have an office hours and you can just come on and ask me anything.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
I appreciate you
Uh,
guys.
one question, John. If we have our
Yeah.
own copy that we use for our LinkedIn content, can you just show where I could actually change what's in Zavari and if I want to use my own copy and I know that it
Yeah.
actually works?
You would. So I did it kind of fast here. I kind of glanced over it, but so here at the very beginning, see how I ran the onboarding for the very first time? It
Hmm.
asked me for a bunch of stuff here, like paste 3 to 5 posts. And then if we kept going through the process, it would have asked me for like samples of copy and stuff like that, like posts that I've done, any type of content that I've written, et cetera, et cetera. But what I did instead was just to expedite the process, so you guys were all on the call, is I gave it this pretty much this massive brand intelligence document here that had like everything about me, like, the product, business size and stage, ideal customer profile, competitive landscape, voice DNA here. So I already gave it my voice DNA is what I call it. The voice DNA is trained on your copy, essentially.
Hmm.
In the way that you and see here writing samples here. So here's all the writing samples here. So I already gave it all of that. It took all of this and it basically stored it. See here, it stored the voice DNA here, the brand library. So you can see all of that in your brand library. So if you go here to library, it's all here. So library, content, here's the different content. So it sees like this is my content here, right? So that's it there.
Okay, and if we want to use like different types of persuasive frameworks, where would we input that? I mean, I get about the brand voice and the DNA and everything, but when you're creating the content, and it comes up with something, where
Hmm.
do I have to then go copy like and
Yeah, you would,
paste?
here we go. It's this
Hmm.
here. Help me create new content template here. So you would run this. So we'd go into here, we'd run a new chat, this.
Okay.
Yeah. So it helped me create a new content and then it runs through the process. So it help you create it.
Yeah.
And this is when it would go through the process of like, I will ask you questions. Okay, let's build this out. I'll ask 2 rounds. Let's start with foundational questions. So, and then you give it the information. And
Mhm.
then once it's done, it gets saved. And it gets saved here as a new piece, right? Like a story post, thought leadership post, contrarian post, whatever you want to call it, but it gets saved in here,
Got
essentially.
it. And
Yeah.
that purple button where, sorry, can you go back to the screen where you, right there
Yeah.
where beside the all content type and it says create,
Yeah.
uh, that button,
Yeah.
is that where we could then create some of our own content that we want?
Yes, by creating content, you mean writing the content?
Yeah, if we already have an outline and everything.
Yeah, yeah. If you already have the outline and everything, well, first you kick it off by running this. It's like content type. So this creates like the template, right? And then
Mhm.
so as you can see here, it's gonna ask me some core questions here. So I'm just gonna go through this real quick. Is this template for posts or comments here, right? So we give it that. What is the primary outcome? So we give it this. What tone should it use? And then I would paste in like here is like writing uh, or like here's copies of content I want you to use for this template, right? So that's how you would do it. You would paste it in as it goes through all the steps here. I think it will eventually like ask for it, but you for this. And so then you would like put it in here, or you could like tell it to refer to like for example, you could basically just feed in all the documents here. So you can add the files and feed in all the files, and you can put it all in here. And it could be that ways as well. But you would
Got it.
basically feed it in afterwards. And then after it feeds it in here, as you can see here, it's going to create it here. See, content template. And so then in the future, when you want it to write something, it will just pull in that template and it knows exactly how to write it using that style and et cetera, et cetera.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
No worries. Okay. One more question. I will delete this. Don't need it. Cool. Well, thanks guys for showing up. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the questions, and I'll send you an email with the recording and everything over the weekend. Okay?
Excellent.
All
Thanks for the
right.
guidance.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
John. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Okay.
Cheers. Thank
See
you.
you guys. Have a great
Take
weekend.
care.
Bye.